First thing we've got here is the trailer. Now, bear in mind, I've not actually seen this myself. So we're going to look at the new Ratlings first. Okay, we're going to look at the new Ratlings. Let's see what we've got here. So, a succulent recipe. Cooking in the trenches of Warhammer 40k.
Prepare a feast in the field. Make a pie crust from compressed carb bars and fill it with a tin of Munitorum issued nutrient paste. Bake it on the exhaust of a Lehman Russ until it's piping hot. Sausages are a great snack when behind enemy lines. To cook them, borrow a shovel from one of the Kriegers, ignore the heavy breathing, stick it over a fire, and give them a sizzle. As it's a special occasion, you can dunk them in a mug of gravy, too. You should be able to find a chem-frozen bird in the officer's mess. To roast it, slather it with promethium gel, set it alight with a shot from your lasgun, and run. Remember, too much and it'll be cremated. Too little, and you might as well eat a mortar round. Bon appetit!
Alright, so... fair enough. That was actually quite funny. I think there is some more information here. So, Warhammer Day preview: Storm Volkers with Orcs and Ratlings in the latest Kill Team expansion. While the Tempest Aquilans and Vesper Stingwings have been battling in the ruins beneath the massive ballistas. Are you taking the piss? It's actually called the Massive Ballistas. Fuck's sake. So the new orcs look good. What have we got next? With so many Imperial troops fighting the Tower Empire, the few are left for the dishonour of guard duty, including regiments of abhumans spurned by their own comrades in the Astra Militarum. Ratlings in particular are notorious for their light-fingered antics and breathtaking disregard for private property. But their skills as snipers are undeniable, as is the raw power of the ogrim brutes who hang out with them. Bruin Cunning contains a full team of 10 Ratling operatives armed with wickedly accurate sniper rifles and an assortment of powerful kit, from the heavy tank stopper rifle to the bomber operative's explosive arsenal. They even come with a dutiful battle mutt whose barks warn its friends of incoming enemies, a vital warning considering the relative fragility of the average Ratling. So, there's first thing to take away from this. Attention conscripts, I am excited to announce the launch of the official second Mordian Glory channel. If you're curious, click on the link down in the description and head over to Mordian Glory Games. I upload to the channel several times a week with all sorts of fun and silly gaming content. So if you're jonesing for even more Mordian Glory content, then head on over to Mordian Glory Games and don't forget to subscribe. Very important. Ratlings are coming in 10-man squads. So right now we are limited to 5-man squads of Ratlings. But when this box comes out, our Ratling squads will go up to 10 strong. That means you will be able to get 30 Ratlings in an army. From one perspective, if they're broken and really good, then being able to get 30 of them is fantastic. From the other perspective, it's really bad. And the reason it's bad is because you might only want to pay for 5 to have a cheap unit, and now you have to take 10 of them. So fingers crossed, you'll be able to take between 5 and 10, but I suspect I suspect there'll be 90 points, and you'll have to take 10 of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're more expensive than the Aquilans, but we'll see. All right. So we've got the Fixer, who is your sergeant. We've then got the Big Shot, who's got a big, looks like a hotshot sniper rifle, but it's got a big power cell attached to it. You've got Ardbit, Spotter. They're both just going to have basic sniper rifles there. You've got the Bomber. That's interesting. I bet he will get a sniper rifle and a demolition charge. And then we've got the Stash Master. Nice. I think he'll probably just count as I'd expect him to count as an extra sniper guy. Raider, nice. Sniper, Vox Thief, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then we've got the Sneak and the Battle Mutt. Yeah, people are saying it's a pug. I don't think it's a pug. I think it's meant to be more of a like a British Bulldog kind of thing, or like a Staffy kind of thing. But I could be wrong because it's got the big ears. But Yeah, and the snaggly tooth. Let's look at each one of these models in detail. So the Fixer, he's got a rifle slung over his back, and I really like the details on the face. That reminds me, it's Ratling Captain Price. Soap, we are leaving! Fucking Ratling Captain Price with a cup of tea. Mate, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. I also love how he's got, is it like he's got his feet exposed, but he's wearing like, is it the putties on his feet? Amazing. I mean, why? Why? Oh my God. But yeah, it definitely reminds me of, I just went, now Price the one with the boonie out, I guess. But it's more the face than anything else. And I'm sure he's worn a beret at some point in the Call of Duty series. I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you'd find it. So yeah, this guy will just count as a sergeant. He's not got any majorly special equipment, so I'm not expecting for 40k for him to have any for him to have any like extra equipment or anything. Not like the sergeant with the sentry drone from the Aquilans, which became basically a bit of sergeant equipment. And then you've got the big shot. Now this will, they say, what did they say? It's an anti-tank sniper rifle, did they? The heavy tank stopper rifle. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a las cannon. I could see it being like a heavy autocannon or like a light autocannon even. Or maybe one autocannon shot. I could see that. But I don't think you're going to see las cannon. I think autocannon or sort of... or I think autocannon. I think you'll see damage 3 between strength 7 and strength 9. Between AP -2 and AP -3. Yeah. Like a yeah, Griffgo's gaming like a las fusel. Could be a las fusel equivalent for sure. Elden Lean, thank you so much, 10 bits, man. Ratling Solid Snake. Ratling Solid Snake. Ratling Solid Snake. It's Ratling Solid Snake, man. He just needs a little box. A little box. Dun 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 dun. Brilliant. Oh, I like that. So yeah, I think the sergeant, I'm expecting no real special rules for him, just an extra sniper bod. Big shot, I think, is obviously the special weapon of the unit. I think that will be the equivalent of an autocannon. Then we've got the ARD bit and the spotter. In terms of 40k rules, which is really what we're focusing on here, again, I'm seeing 2 sniper rifles here. I don't think Games Workshop will bother to give this guy any sort of close combat bonuses in 40k, although of course I think he will get them in Kill Team. Likewise with the spotter, I expect that'll end up just being a regular sniper rifle. In terms of the models themselves, though, I have to say GW has smashed it. They've absolutely smashed it out of the park. Not only is every single one of these models very distinctive and very unique, which is what you need for Kill Team, but they're incredibly characterful. They're still goofy ratlings, which is what they need to be, but they're a lot... I feel like they're more sensible while still retaining that goofy rattling vibe. Because at the end of the day, it's clearly hobbits with sniper rifles, right? That's what it is. And so there's only so serious you can make it. But you know, looking at them, I am both loving how you can. I'm loving the fact that you can take them seriously, whilst also enjoy them for being hobbits with sniper rifles. And I think this hard bit is probably the best example of that, because you know he is a hobbit at the end of the day. He's got big hairy feet, but he also looks pretty hard. He looks pretty nails. So yeah, I think they've really captured the vibe well. They've towed that line between seriousness and silliness very well, which often they fall down on one side or the other. You know, they often fall down. They sometimes go too serious and they smooth things out too much, like Primaris Marines being too smooth. And sometimes they go too silly, which some of the Age of Sigmar stuff, in my eyes, like can be very, very silly, very characterful, but can be a little too silly. But these guys have smashed it. The bomber model, I mean, there's a whole story here, right? One of the best things you can do with a model is have that model tell a story all by itself. A classic example of sort of show, don't tell. And look at this guy. His armor is clearly battered and badly worn. He's taken a few blasts. He's clearly injured as well. He's lost an eye. He's got like burns or scars or just open wounds on his face. And he's got an augmetic arm. Like clearly this is someone who, knows his craft because he's still alive. At the end of the day, he's still alive. But also clearly someone who has had to basically learn that craft the hard way. Sure, he's still silly because he's got a few sausages poking out the back of his backpack. Silly. But also pretty serious. I mean, that clearly he's had an arm blown off at some point. And it wasn't due to enemy action. It was due to one of his bombs going off. So, it's a hurt locker. It's a hurt locker rattling, which is 90% serious, but they've still managed to keep that rattling vibe going with a few sausages sticking out the backpack, which is how it should be. That perfect line that they're tearing. We've then got the Stash Master and the Raider. I love the Stash Master because not only does he have all of the sort of gear, like Quartermaster. He's got a big ammo tin under his arm. But also, he has a mustache. So he is the Stash Master. Yes! You thought he was the Stash Master because he's good at stashing things. He is the Stash Master because he has a goddamn mustache. Brilliant. I missed that the first time I saw it. Honestly, whoever made this model and then came up with this name needs a raise. Games Workshop, get on it. They need a raise, man. Possibly the best Ratling model ever released, and possibly one of the best models GW's released this year. With the best name, the Stash Master. I fucking love it. I also quite like the fact that he's a little portly. Ratlings were always shown, especially with the last generation, having a bit of, eating good, having a few bellies. And, we've seen on some of the, other models, that's not really present. Like, most of them are looking pretty trim. But the Stash Master, I think, not only has the best name, but he's also definitely a harkening back and a reference to those sort of older, portlier guard models, like the Caden guy with the shotgun and the old Ratlings, a bit portly. Because, sometimes Ratlings, they'll just be eating and eating and eating. There you go. The Raider, very just sort of classic sort of Rain and Rouse kind of vibe from this guy. Not much to write home about. Main thing is, of course, he's got that grapnel hook. I guess the big question is, will that grapnel hook play any part in 40k, or will it be a 30k and a kill team exclusive thing? I'll tell you one thing I have noticed about these guys. I'll tell you one thing I've noticed. Look at the pouches. So you've got like a pouch here and a pouch here. And then this guy's got big pouches across the front. Do you know what I think it is? And correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, because there are a few smaller pouches. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think that those pouches are just normal sized Imperial Guard lasgun pouches. But they've been somewhat exaggerated on the models to emphasize how small the Ratlings are. So some of them have managed to get some Ratling sized gear. Like this guy's got a Ratling sized bandolier, But I bet this is basically the same ammo pouch on the Cadian medic. You know, the one, not the Cadian, the Cadian Command Squad banner bearer who's got those 3 pouches across the front. I bet it's meant to be the same assault vest, the same rig. And they basically, like, well, if a Ratling's wearing it, it's going to be much bigger. Oh, that's so cute. I like that. Yeah, that's... Sometimes, there's only one size fits all in the guard, and if you're a Ratling, then you're going to be shit out of luck, I think. Yeah. Felix, I thought you were going to say they were styled after old British webbing gear. That as well. Yeah. Definitely that as well. Someone who's worn some of the old, I think they're like 50 pattern or 48 pattern or whatever it was, webbing back in the day. The old World War II stuff. I have worn that. And yeah, you've got those big pouches on the front, don't you? Yeah. I have to say, GW has been getting this one not so much. But this one definitely reminds me of that webbing. And I have to say, GW has been getting much better at the historical sort of nodding to some sort of historical sort of real world military gear, whilst keeping it obviously sci-fi. Like a good example is things like, you know, the Rogel Dawn and stuff like that. Looks like, it doesn't look like a made up tank. It looks like, also, like, people keep saying the M48. They tell me the M48 or the M60, that they basically just taken that and just put it in 40k. So yeah, like, I think GW's been getting much better at that. And these pouches, they're either full-sized pouches that the Ratlings have got, they've pilfered, or they're influenced by that old style webbing. Yeah. As a Brengan says, for a few years in my youth, the webbing does remind me of the webbing. Nice. And then we've got the Sniper and the Vox Thief. The Sniper, I mean, is that Captain Price? Hang on, is that Captain Price? Holy shit. Okay. That is Solid Snake. That's Solid Snake right there. All right. That, 1 minute. That is Hurt Locker. That is goddamn Stash Master. But that is Captain Price. Oh, I love it, GW. I love it. And this is the exact reaction you should have when seeing a kill team, because they're meant to be, you know, more flavorful. You're spending 40 quid or whatever it is on a box of models. Every single one of those models has to be a joy to look at and a joy to sort of build and paint and just, yeah, amazing. Cade used to house 10,000. This place used to house 10,000 Cadians. Now it's just a ghost town. Now it's an asteroid field. I love it, Warforge. 10,000 people used to live here. Now it's an asteroid belt. Now it's a dust cloud. There you go. Yeah, the radio guy is amazing. Yeah, the Vox Thief. I do wonder what he will get as a special rule in 40k, because I think he is distinctive enough where he will need a special rule. It could just be a Voxcaster. That would be lame. That would be very, very lame. I love it. It reminds me of the like, what was it, like old James Bond or like old spy movies where they've got like they're getting like the spy equipment out and it's like fucking huge, like woo woo, the starting in, woo woo. He's like, don't listen. Oh. Yeah, and the mug on the Vox pack is brilliant. Kind of reminds me of like the old Catachan Vox caster with it in being in the backpack. But yeah, that Vox Thief was so, yeah, that Vox Thief looks it looks so good. These guys feel so, I kind of like the fact because they're sort of talking about how few are left for the dishonor of guard duty. And, you know, obviously, like, it kind of implies that these guys are getting, like, second-line equipment. So the fact that a lot of their, like, gear looks like, you know, the old World War II gear and stuff. And you can see that a lot of their gear is, like, quite battered. Like, this guy's obviously very battered. This guy's, you know, vest has got some, like, holes in it. You know, this guy's pretty battered as well with, like, his bandage and everything. You know, a lot of the models are, you know, looking a little... Like they've got that second line equipment. I've just noticed I like that the Fixer's got a flak vest. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I do like that a lot of the equipment does a feel second line or third line troops, because that's what these guys are meant to be. Yeah, these guys basically this whole sort of kill team vibe is the orcs are meant to be there. The orcs are like going there, fucking shit up, you know, doing their mission, and the Ratlings were just basically behind the lines thinking, fucking hell, we got a good gig here, guys. We're gonna eat food and do guard duty, and the Ratlings are just basically, you know, unenthusiastic soldiers, which is kind of fits in their vibe as well. It fits in with their equipment. And then we've got the Sneak and the Battle Mutt. The Sneak, well, it's just going to be a sniper rifle. Yeah, there's not going to be anything. I mean, it'll be different in Kill Team, of course, but that is just going to be a standard guide sniper rifle. I do like the little camo poncho, though. I do like that. And I also like the what I imagine to be some pilfered Space Marine or Scion goggles. Some Space Marine scout somewhere is like, where the fuck are my goggles? And the Sneak's like, yoink! The Suppressor's very cool as well. Yes, the Suppressor is very, very cool. Yeah, Sneak model. I can see people using the Sneak model as a Ratling Vindicare sniper. That's how I'd use it, that's for sure. But of course, we have the Battle Mutt. The Battle Mutt probably won't do much in game in 40k. It'll be a token of some kind, like, you know, use the Battle Mutt, reroll like one hit in the game. It'll be something like that. But you can tell, you know what? You can tell that GW has learnt over the years, right? Because I remember when, like, the first like doggo that we got in 40k was for the Voidsman at Arms. You know, the dog that came with those guys. And everyone went absolutely bonkers for the doggo. And now it seems like anytime GW can cram in any sort of like pet into any game or any squad, they fucking do it. You've got like even like Blood Bowl, you've got like the beer boar and stuff like that. I think like in Underworld there was like a squid. Like no one gave a shit about and still no one gives it. I'm sorry, but no one gives a shit about Warhammer Underworlds. Okay, I've never seen anyone play it, anyone buy it or anything like that. I mean, it must do something, but the one time I saw everyone go nuts for Warhammer Underworld was the fucking squid. And the crab. Yeah, the crab as well. The crab and the squid. Yeah. Everyone was like, it's the crab. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. But yeah, no one will be able to point to a single like Warhammer Underworld thing that they can really remember in detail. Like what was the hype? Or what was the lore? Like, they'll be able to say, oh yeah, there's like the Tzeentch guides or something. But no one will be able to really tell you, like, in depth about any of the Warhammer Underworld stuff. But they'll always remember the pets that came out with that game. And everyone remembers the crab. Everyone remembers the fucking crab model, man. And the sassy nurgling. And the squid. And the doggo with the fucking... What's it called? With the Voidsman and the Battle Mutt, and I don't even know. I don't even know what game it's for, but I think it was for Sigmar, where there was like a squig which had like an Arnold Schwarzenegger like flat top. Everyone remembers that. The mummy cat from Old World. Everyone remembers the mummy cat. Yeah, but no one can tell it. Yeah, it's all about the pets. So it's GW has learned that people like cute pet things, and so they've definitely been including them as much as possible. And I fully support that. I like it. Yeah, I fucking love it, man. All right. Now, we've got a few other bits, like kill team related here, so let's have a quick look. Despite their stature, Ratlings are remarkable, agile, and consistently repositioned to avoid danger and line up the perfect shot. Every enemy activation is a chance to scarp it into a better position, keeping Ratlings one step ahead of the opposition and making them a difficult foe to predict. Scarp, despite their full nature, Ratlings are fleet of foot, using their speed and agility to outpace and evade their foes. After each enemy operative activation, before the next operative is activated, you can perform a free dash action with one friendly Ratling operative, excluding Borgrin, Ogrin, and Sneak, but it cannot finish that move within 3 inches of an enemy operative unless it's not visible to every enemy operative when it finishes that move. Each friendly operative can only do this once per turning point, and you cannot do so after the final activation of the turning point. You cannot use this rule after consecutive enemy activations during the same turning point. In other words, after using this rule, you must skip the next opportunity during that turning point before you can use it again. I mean, that's going to make them phenomenally hard to pin down. So someone's like, I'm going to activate. I guess not so bad, though, because if they get to do their full activation, so they'll activate, they'll fucking shoot you, and then probably kill a Ratling, and then you'll get to dash. I'm guessing, but I don't know how kill team works. If it's like, I activate my first activation with my action. No, you activate a unit and then you spend the action points, and it's not after each action point. It's after each unit is activated. So yeah, so basically they're going to activate. They're going to splat a Ratling, and then you get, because if they can see it, because Ratlings will be Peter Piss to kill, and then you're the Ratling. One of you, the Ratlings, will be like fuck, and basically like run away. Why do they keep mentioning Ogrin in this kill team? Yeah, they keep mentioning Ogrin, but they haven't shown us any Ogrin models. And they haven't included the asterisk. They blue borders, Mad Larkin. They blue borders. So, what do we think? What do we rate the Ratlings out of 10? This can be based on models, suspected rules, just general vibe. It can be based on anything you want. Gut instinct, logical assessment. What are you going to rate the Ratlings out of 10? Overall, people seem to be pretty positive. Got a lot of 7 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s, 12 out of 10s. Some people a little bit lower. So Freedoc saying 2 out of 10 until I see a non-GW paint job. DeQual saying 4, prefer the metal ones. I mean, that's a good point. We should look at the metal ones, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, the old ones are pretty good. They're just a little limited, I feel. A little limited by the technology of the time. Like, this guy's face is a little fucked. But none of them are bad. They're actually genuinely good sculpts. I might, yeah, they are pretty good. That's probably my favorite one. I was going to say a little bit more portly, but they're not really. They are good, the old ones, aren't they? I think the new ones are definitely a step up in terms of quality of the mold, especially on the faces. I think everything about these models is very, very good, but the faces do let them down a little bit, fairly consistently. They look more fighty to me, not exactly sure how to explain it. Yes, so the old Ratlings look a bit more grizzled. They're a little bit, yeah, so these Ratlings are definitely less focused on the whole sort of they love to eat food kind of vibe. There's like an apple core discarded down here, but that's like as far as it goes. The new Ratlings, they're definitely leaning more into food aspect, and they're probably a little bit sillier. But I actually think overall the Ratlings do benefit a bit more from being silly, because they are meant to be one of the more characterful units. And I think them being a little bit more silly will give them a similar appeal to why orcs appeal to a lot of people. Yeah, these are your old, grizzled, fighty Ratlings. These are your sort of new, slightly goofier, but still sensible enough Ratlings. Yeah. Nicholas, second breakfast out of 10. Love it, mate. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. What do we think about the orcs then? What are we giving the rating on the orcs? New tank buster models. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a squad. My own feelings on it is they are perfectly serviceable orc models. I I think the Ratlings have somewhat stolen the show, but they definitely look like orcs. You know, big thing is, you know, they've not done what they did with like the Cruel Boys, where they made them like Tolkien sort of looking orcs. I mean, they're hunched over. They've got the big jutting orc jaw. They've got the big mummels. They're scarred and grizzled. This one feels very. This one reminds me of like second or third edition. You know, the old like Space Marine special weapons where they used to be like, you know, have the gun on the shoulder. It kind of reminds me of that. Reminds me of the. I don't know if the orc heavy weapons used to be like that, but it reminds me of the old Space Marine one. They are my thing. I give them a solid 7 out of 10. They are perfectly good sculpts. There's a lot of detail and attention put into them. There's plenty of character to them. I'm sure orc players will be very happy to have, you know, more sculpts that they can do crazy kit bashing things with. It's just, I just think the Ratling's just the Stash Master, man. It's all about the Stash Master. Yeah. These are perfectly good orc models. There's no real negatives to them, and they're fairly characterful, but they're not on quite the same level as the new Ratlings, which just feel... They feel like... the new Ratlings feel like a delight. All right. Nice. My final hot take and thoughts on the Ratlings. From a model perspective, 10 out of 10. Really, I think they've captured the essence of Ratlings very, very well, whilst sticking... they've modernized them, while sticking... and made them a bit more silly, while sticking to what is true about Ratlings, which they are a little bit goofy goobers, but they also fundamentally are soldiers, and it's 40k, so they should be a little bit more... They should be kind of serious, and they shouldn't break that immersion by being too goofy. So from a model point of view, I'm going to give them 10 out of 10. From a rules point of view, and this could be completely obviously wrong, we don't know yet. I think if you are forced to take them in 10-man squads, unless they have some very, very good rules to back it up, I don't think people will take them. I know. I think people will get a box of modelling projects. But if you're forced to take 10 Ratlings and it's going to be like 100 points, or even like 80 and 90 points, yeah, I don't know. I think people just won't take them. I think at that point, if the moment you start straying into 100 points, guard players are going to be thinking to themselves, you know, I get a fucking hellhound. I get a hellhound for this. You know, I could be getting... I'm straying into fucking vehicle territory. Yeah. So, I hope that Games Workshop recognises that and keeps them as a 5-man squad. I hope they recognise that. Richard Baker. No, I think it will still be 5-man teams. The box just has 2. Cope. I mean, look at Aquilans. Aquilans, you get 10 in the box. You have to take a 10-man squad. You absolutely would prefer to take Aquilans as a 5-man squad every day of the week. 45 points, 5-man squad. You just deep strike them in 3 inches away and do secondaries. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. The 10-man squad. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Yeah, so I hope... But then again, I hope we get... They might change when it comes to 40k, like when they're to the codex, because I'm sure there will be an Aquilin datasheet in the codex, and a Ratling datasheet in the codex, and in there, if you get 5-man Aquilin squads with a 3-inch deep strike in the codex for between 40 and 60 points. Amazing. Fucking take 2 of them every time. But like, oh yes, secondaries, baby. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full-time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.